Real shuffle up for Cameron Ciraldo, although it's still a very formidable looking lineup. So two finals bounds teams. Brisbane got the money earlier. Can Canterbury square the ledger here at home? Sexton for Turpin. Out to Galvin. Sweeps a pass straight away. Burton trying to open up a gap there, but the outside men were good. Galvin to Tracy. They've got them stripped here. Marcelo Montoya spears over, and the Bulldogs have got the first one. Down the left-hand edge now, Sexton. He steps back infield. He was collared by Willison. Now they double up down the short side. Marnie takes them on. Surrounded by Broncos jerseys. Another tackle by Willison. Ricky there to help. Kick out a dummy half. Sexton. Turpin. They spread it wide. Galvin now. They drew the outside men in. The ball goes behind everyone. It's picked up by Montoya. He'll come charging back towards the middle of the ground. He was ankle tapped by Ezra. He got a pass away. Kick out and Burton. He dinks in over the top. It's a gorgeous kick. And Canterbury have lost it, and Burton...
He scored!
Scored! Get out of town!
No way.
So 5 tries in. Oh, kick out with another charge down. And he's outpaced Cobbo. He makes a crucial tackle, Selwyn, but there's no Broncos back on side yet. Surely the Bulldogs score if they spread it. Galvin across to Sexton. He goes charging for the
Go, Toby!
Around him. Galvin with as much time as he likes. It's a shallow kick, so it's contestable here. Curran racing through. They balked him at the back. Sexton chasing a ball, comes back. Kickout's got it, and he dives over. Now Marnie holds the defence off, goes inside the 10. Penalty.
Make contact on Toby Sexton, who's a support player.
Burton from point blank. Picked up by Marnie. Out the back to Galvin, his kick out. And they forced another error with some jamming defence. Staggs has got it back. If he gives it to Mariner, he might want to run score here. We know how quick he is, but look at the Bulldogs back there en masse.
Bailey Hayward.
Ezra Mam stands up Montoya. Floats a pass away to Karapani. Here comes Connor Tracy. He doesn't think he's going to save this one. Karapani scores in the corner. They're inside the 10 here. Reynolds for Ezra Mam. What a pass! The Broncos are back from nowhere. They've come from the clouds. Deloise Hoyter gets a try.
Well, they get some bodies in motion inside and outside the centre.
Brisbane jag another try here. The comeback is on, if it's not already. Nice work, nice offloading. Good tackle made in the end by Reid Marnie. Smoothie brought down. Walters in his 100th game. Billy's got a try. 3 in a row.
Here's a try sneak, Billy Walters.
Play for. Reynolds brings Cobbo into the game. He bounced away from Burton. They've got space down the right. It's Katoni Staggs down the touchline. He throws it on the boot. The ball bounces. Walters was there looking for a favourable bounce. It's gone out.
I think Galvin knocks this ball out, doesn't he?
Yeah.
Oh, this is a sin bin. This is a sin bin.
It's at very least a penalty, which will give them a chance to lock it up. This is the most remarkable comeback from the Broncos. Ezra Mann, Piakura, he's over!
What?
The Broncos are in front! He's out past the 30, fast play the ball. Marnie takes off from dummy half. Ball goes away to Preston, he's dumped by the winger. And he's forced a mistake. Karapani, what a shot! They're celebrating like they've won the comp. What a win!
Oh,
that's 4 in a row.
Imagine 18-0 down and nothing's going right for you guys. Did you have belief that they could come back and win like that? And if so, why?
Believe it or not, I actually did. I've seen that in the group, especially growing over the last sort of month in the way the boys have gone about things. You know, I knew it was going to be a challenge, but the players at half-time spoke really well amongst each other and they went out and delivered exactly what they said. So that was really pleasing. They needed to stick to their plan, and they did that. So really happy for them, and obviously a number of the guys. Ben Toldy for his first time. Della coming back after 12 months. Billy's 100th. So yeah, it was really nice to sort of see the boys celebrate those little things before we even started. So I knew there was a fair bit of belief about the group.
Ezra Mam had a terrific 20 minutes here a couple of years ago in a fairly important game. What impressed you most about his final 20 minutes tonight? I think he had 3 try assists and got the team home. Yeah, well, I think the way Reno and Ezra are coming together, I mean, they're starting to really grow again together. I know they've played a fair bit, but just watching them go about their game, that's what's probably impressed me. Ez took the game on, and I saw Ren talk to Ez at half-time about what they needed to do, and they both went and did it. So it was, again, pleasing. What did you make of him, Adam? When he's playing like that, is the key just get him the ball and let him attack that left edge?
Yeah, tried early on, but obviously didn't succeed with it, but knew if we stuck at it long enough that it would turn. Slight adjustment at half-time in the way we wanted to play, and it's my job to get him as much space as I can and watch him do his magic off the back of that, and I thought he was fantastic. How do you sum up the turnaround? Because the first half it seemed like anything that could go wrong did go wrong, kicks going out, not cleaning up kicks, and then just like that it just turned. Yeah, I was a big part of that. Well, it was going pretty bad. It wasn't my best night, but knew if we just stuck at it, like Matt said, there was plenty of belief at half-time, and we could turn it around. We've seen glimpses in the way we changed up the game plan a little bit there, started targeting their 4-ins a bit more rather than trying to go through the middle of them. Started getting a little bit of joy and a bit of momentum through the ruck, and when we got that, we got a dangerous football team. How big was Xavier Willison tonight? Missing Payne Haas, Pat Carrigan, came back on. I think once he came on late in the first half of that second stint, he seemed to really change the game in that second half for you guys. Yeah, I thought his first stint was strong too. He's grown, hasn't he? It's been really great to watch his development, and obviously without our bigger boys around, he took ownership of that. I was again pleased for how he went about his game. He's growing, and he's got so much more in him too, which is exciting.
What about Billy Walters, man? Like, how much is he kind of changing games for you at the moment? Yeah,
well, he's coming on and he's speeding things up, and trying to pick the right time for him to come in and find that little bit of fatigue. It's allowing him to jump out and do the things he's been doing, like score another try. And he's been great for us. And he's been patient too. You're trying to roll your subs the right way, and we wanted to get Xavier back out there in the back end of the first half, just with sort of the size of our pack. X went out and did a good job, and then Billy was patient enough, and he knew he was going to get his turn, and when he did, he took it.
Adam, how big is the difference in the belief in this team at the moment, though? Because obviously 2 weeks ago as well, you pulled off a very similar comeback against the Sharks. Compared that maybe a couple of weeks earlier where things were how big is the difference in that belief?
We've had the belief the whole year. Just at times that we weren't playing good footy. We looked at things that we weren't doing too well in those weeks that you spoke about. We've got back to training. The coaches have been fantastic in the way they prep us, and it was about us, trying to find what was going to work for us out in the field. And once it clicked, we knew we had a footy team here, and it's just about us playing our brand of football and believing in it. But we all believe in it.
Matt, what did you make of Selwyn Cobbo? Did you talk to him at half time? He obviously had a bit of an off first half, but responded well in the second half like the team did. Did you talk to him?
Yeah, I think our first half was probably described like you said. It was a tough first half and things weren't going well. Once Sally put his head down and started to run, he started to terrorise, obviously, what was in front of him. So he had a good second half, and the first half, as you said, it was everything went against us, but to see the boys at half-time, like Selwyn, come together and they went out and got the job done. And it's an 80-minute game, and that's exactly what the boys did.
What does it say about him that he didn't drop his head in that second half? And I think with 5 minutes to go, the Bulldogs make a break, put in a long kick, and he's actually there to clean it up after missing those 2 in the first half. Yeah, I think, again, it's a team doing it, and Sally did a great job in the second half. But right across the board, our subs came on and they injected. KB Hetherington came on and got up the back of the ruck, and Billy came on and did what he did. So Sally did his job. It's good to see.
Thanks, guys. Cam, discipline in the second half really let you down. Near flawless in the first half, but just didn't really put them away when you had the chance.
Yeah. It's we just spoke about that. Probably didn't learn our lessons from last week. We come out last week and made a lot of errors after half time and lost control of the game, and that seemed to happen again tonight. So there was some really good stuff in the first half, some stuff I'm really proud of. To get to 18-0 was good, but that wasn't good enough that last quarter of the game. Momentum totally shifted, and we weren't good enough to win it back.
What do you put that down to? Because the effort areas in the first half, the kick pressure, chasing balls, I think led to 2 tries. Were they trying too much in the second half? Were they defending lead? What do you put that down
I think the effort was there straight after half time as well. We come out and kick pressured again and played field position and won a lot of good ball. We were just trying to land knockout punches there when we earned some good ball, and Broncos were defending well, and I think we just got frustrated and just handed the ball over way too cheaply. And again, that was frustrating because it was sort of the same lesson as last week there. And then those sort of errors led to Broncos' first try, which really gave them a lot of energy and shifted it around. But really disappointing finish because we pride ourselves on being really process driven, and we didn't do that in the last 20 minutes.
Almost guilty of being impatient in that sense, Cam, do you mean? In attack there, or
being patient?
Yeah, trying to force things.
Yeah, I thought we were trying to force it too much. The Broncos were defending really well start of the second half, and we earned some possession there, and we just had to keep asking good questions and being patient and playing the field position game, but we didn't. We just tried to force it, and it probably played into their hands.
Can I ask, obviously the scoreboard plays a role in how we all view the game, but the 60-minute mark, were you happy with how your attack had been there, or were you still feel there were times where maybe it was clunky and
probably happy for the first half, probably not so happy in the good ball sets we had after half time. I thought the stuff we spoke about at half time didn't really happen. I thought we missed some opportunities to do what we were trying to do, so not entirely happy with it. But I will say there was a lot I was happy with in that first 60 minutes.
I was going to say, talk us through the changes, obviously, like the decision to shift Matty Bird into centres and start with Lockie.
We're just a bit short on numbers at the moment, and Carraz going into... We sort of planned for Birdo, probably be 18th man again. Then when that shifted to Carraz going in, it sort of meant we were a bit short in the outside backs, and Birdo's played that role a number of times before. We were sort of, going to try and use both of them at times in the game at 5'8" and centre, but Birdo just put his hand up and said, it's easier if I just play centre, and he was doing a real good job in the first half, and it was flowing nicely, but yeah.
Do you think Burton and Sexton will still be the way you go towards the back end of this game?
I haven't thought too far past that game at the moment. We've got to go back and review that, and there was a lot to like about what we did in the first half, but there's some lessons there. Filthy we didn't learn our lessons from last week. We had to stand up and learn them and be better this week than what we were last week in those areas that we practiced all week, and we weren't.
What did you make of Toby and Lockie tonight? Both of them had some really nice kicks, but do you feel like it'll just take a little bit longer, I guess, for them to be on the field at the same time for that combination to really come together?
I don't think our attack's reached its potential all year. So, we're sort of searching for that, as most clubs are. We're sort of searching for that ourselves on what exactly works. We've had a lot of turnover with different back rowers and things like that. So we're just still searching. We've got 9 or 10 weeks to go to figure that out. But as I said, you've got to learn your lessons pretty quickly. We didn't learn our lessons from last week and take them into tonight. So that's what makes me unhappy.
Cam, is it fair to say, I know you don't want to use Origin guys as an excuse, but Stephen Crichton tonight not having him, A, defensively at the end there where they ran in a lot of tries down that edge, and B, when we talk about patience and trying to force passes and whatnot, just having his calm voice out there as well?
You can't underestimate Stephen's influence on our team, his leadership, his communication, his understanding of the game and what's needed at what time. But there's no excuse for not having Origin players there tonight. Both teams are in the same boat. I'm sure they would have had their own challenges as well, so we needed to do better there.
Thanks, guys.
Yeah, look, he came and saw me last night and told me about it, and it's really good for him and his family, and I'm really stoked for him. He's worked really hard. He came here. He was playing Tweed Heads a couple of years ago and came down to the Bulldogs for an opportunity. he had to bide his time at the start, and then got his opportunity, and he's done really well, and it's a great opportunity for him over there. But you know, he was really clear that he's not thinking about that right now. He's thinking about how we get better at the back end of the season, and that's what we're all thinking.
Thank you.